Hello guys, trust you're all doing okay. And in this video I want to show you I actually talk a lot about defining how much you need to earn. How much you need, because once you understand how much you need, you will know how much you need to earn. And once you know how much you need to earn, you'll be able to budget yourself and know exactly what you should get into. So in this video I created a spreadsheet to guide everyone, or just to help everyone to define their own financial requirements. So it will be easy for you to now see, oh, this is how much I need. I need 2 million naira every month. What kind of job do I need to do to be able to achieve that? Or if you're even running your business too, you'll be able to say, oh, I need 2 million naira every month. How much sales do I need to achieve for me to be able to get 2 million naira? And how long will it take me to get there? Things like that. Then there's a point in this video where I'll also show you, if you don't want to work anymore, let's say you want to be financially free, whereby you want to have passive income, what kind of investments can you set up? How much do you need to gather or save up to that point so that you don't have to work anymore? So that's what I'm trying to break down in this video. So here, these yellow points here are places that you can edit in this text. So I'll send you this document, and then these blue ones are based on exchange rate. So exchange rate is different in different particular times. So I don't know when you'll be receiving this document, or maybe you send it to someone. They can easily change their the exchange rate. Right now, the exchange rate I use for this document is 1,005 to $1. So 1,005 naira to $1. Then these green places that you see are those places that you need to focus on. Those are the places you're trying to get to. So let's get into it. So basically, let me show you a rundown. So like this particular section now is for the man, maybe the husband, and then you have the wife as well. You can see here add the items for the wife. You can always add. I'll show you how to add to this document. Maybe there's something that is missing. You can add and subtract. I'll show you all of that. Then you have children. So like in this particular example, you have 2 children. Then you can add or subtract, or even increase the number of children. So something like this now is 2 children. I can just type 3, and then the figures changes by themselves. Alright, so couple activities or family activities here. Then you have car maintenance too. If you have a car, you have 2 cars, you have 3 cars. So here it's the same thing. I can just put 3 cars, or I can just say maybe the entire family is using 1 car. Alright, and then that's where it's going to be. Then at the end of the day, we would have the home maintenance, things that you need to spend at home. And then you have your total over here. So on this total here is what you summed up all of this main stuff here. Then here you can now approximate it. So like this is 250 now. I can approximate it to 300. So that means that I need 300,000 naira a day, and that gives me about 8.4 million naira a year. A month. And in a year, which is over here, I'll be needing 109 million naira a year. Alright, if I want to maintain this lifestyle. So in terms of dollar, this is in dollar now. So here you can see this is blue. So here you can come back here. Maybe dollar is now 1,000 naira. You just change this 15 to 1,000 naira, and then it will change it for you. Alright, so if dollar is still going up, God forbid it raise to 2,000 naira, this is how you just put it. But right now I'm doing for 15, right? So I'll put it back to 15. So this 300,000 naira that we have here is just $200. Alright, so same thing too. If you want to maintain this lifestyle, we'll go through it very soon. This is what you need, and then in a month, this is in a month you'll be needing just $5,600, and in a year you will need 72,800. Meaning that this is not a ridiculous thing over there. People working as Starbucks and this thing can earn this kind of thing. itself. So it's just here that the money looks crazy. It's not that it's so crazy like that. It's not really not. A basic office job will give you that amount. So then I have all of this breakdown. So this is what I'm saying, that if you have this amount, right? If you have this amount, you can survive for the next 5 years without working. If you have this amount, you can survive for the next 40 years without having to work. And inflation has been included in all of this. So if you have this, you can survive for the next 80 years without having to work. And we do a lot of calculations in weeks. The reason why we do it in weeks is because some months have 5 weeks, some months have 4 weeks. So if you're timesing your figures by 12, in 12 months that you have, you will be missing 4 months and 4 weeks. So it's better to just do it in weeks. So, and then from there we have all of this net worth area that I'll explain, work and earning. Then, so another key thing I just want to show quickly here is, in your normal daily life, you have 365 days here. This one is 365 days, but the number of time you can work in a year is actually 240 days, and that's if you're working 12 hours or 10 hours a day. So you can see this one is 12 hours, this one is 10 hours. So I broke it down different hours that you can work. So you cannot the point is, this money you want to earn in a year, you have to divide it by 12, not by 365. I mean, you have to divide it by 240, not by 365. So let's just get started. So as we get to this point, you would understand it better. Alright, so this particular one now for the husband, like this state and federal licenses, I put it at 100. You could always change it here. So the point is that these are maybe like your passport, renewing your passport, travel passport, your driver's license. They are always like 5 years thereabout, and there are other licenses too that you might need to you might have, depending on the kind of status of life that you have and everything. This amounts to 200 plus at the end of 5 years. So if you start saving this 100 naira per day, or this 2005, so it doesn't necessarily have to be 100 naira. You can put it at 50 naira there, and then you see how it calculates it out. Getting an average passport today would cost you, in our particular terms, between 60 to 100,000 naira. If you want to renew your driver's license too, it will cost you close to 50,000 naira thereabout. So that's like 150 or 120. So that's how this is gotten here. So it's just for you to just be able to figure out, okay, what other things that I need? What other things do I renew after 5 years? Maybe you have even some other kind of documentation or association that you belong to. So 100,000 I think is a fair figure. Even if it is not up to, it's better to be more than to be less than. Alright, so same thing for your phone. If you are spending 100 naira a day, this is what you spend in a week, this is what you're going to spend in a month, and things like that. So that's just how everything works out here. So let me take this phone data for example now. So this phone data, let's say you spend 20,000 naira. So all of these areas here, don't edit them because they are already coded already. So it's just for you to just edit anything that you find here. So let's say this 20,000 naira, for example, this is 21,000. So let's say, let me show you a calculation. If you have 20,000 naira, maybe you don't know what your figure per day is, and you want to get your figure per day. If you spend 20,000 naira per day, per month on your data, divide it by 30, divide it by 4, right? Divide it by 4, and then it gives you 5. Then you now divide this 5 by 7 days to give you what you get in a day. So if you divide it by that, so you now divide this one by 7, so you have this 714. So you can just put maybe 715, and then you have this 20. So that's what you do to the rest. Alright, so just to save time, you can just go through these. If you are buying clothes if you have a budget for clothes every month, so like this one now, 42,000 naira. You want to change your, it doesn't necessarily have to be this, but let's say at the end of the year you want to change your wardrobe, and this is not a figure, right? This is for clothes, right? Yeah. So that's 546. Now you might think this is ridiculous, but really, if you take 550 for example, and then you are doing maybe a native for guys now, a native, that's a good native right now, that will cost you probably 40 to 50,000. And let's not even do 40. So there is 13 natives that you will have. 13 natives in a whole year is not too bad. Do you understand? And it's not only native that you're going to be wearing all through. So you're still going to buy shirts, you're going to buy singlets, you're going to buy boxers, you're going to buy other fashionable materials and stuff too. So it is not like it's so ridiculous if you actually look at it. It is not at all. So if that's how you calculate it, you're going to buy shoes. Shoes are not even included here, right? So even if you are going to buy maybe just even 6 natives, and then you're going to buy other shoes, you're going to buy shirts, you're going to buy trousers, you're going to buy other things, it still makes sense. And some of these stuff, over the years, you will have some clothes that will pass on to the next year, so you will have accumulated quite a number of things. So that's how you just go through all of them. So all of them have their own. So let's say, for example, now there's an item here that you don't want. You can easily come here too and edit like this personal assistant. Not everybody will need a personal assistant, right? Or you need a driver. So you can just select here and delete if you don't need those particular space. And if there's something that you don't see here that you want to add to it, you can also just come to this point here, right click on it and say insert, right? You can just say insert. So let's say here now, and I put back the personal PA, right? You put back the PA and then you put in your figure, and then it will come back to it. You can see how that brought back everything into it. So that's just basically it. So like a PA here now can just be, if you are at that level, you can put in maybe 1,000 naira, and that person you'll be paying them. So you can be paying 20,000 naira now. You can be paying 28,000 naira for PA. You probably want to be doing like 40 or thereabouts. So maybe 1.5. Let's see what that is. Yeah, about 40. All right. So that's just to give you an idea. That's just what it is. So what this means now is that over here you need 70,000 naira per day. You need this per week, and you need this per month for a guy or an husband, right? So you can go through all of these ones and see. So like this education now, they're kind of high. Travel, you're kind of high. So you want to travel, personal travels and things, you can reduce it. If you're not into those kind of things, you can move it. If you're not into charity, I always tell people to have a budget for their charity. Not that anybody just comes and you start giving them, have a budget. Then for this car, you might want to have 2 cars here now. So these are 2 cars for one particular person, or you can remove it, right? So for this car, it's just majorly that the cost of the car, not the maintenance of the car. So let's say you're saving 10,000 naira per day for a very nice car and another bigger car. It's not a bad lifestyle to have 2 cars. So in 5 years time, right, you would have saved up this, which means that you can buy a car comfortably at 22 million. Which any car 22 million naira will be okay. Or you can buy another car at 45 million. Meanwhile, you probably have a car right now that you sell, so you can add that money to this one to buy an even better car. So you might not be buying a car for 50 or 60. So you just be trading that money up and down like that. So, but if you can earn this as your individual person, this is what you need just to be a guy man. All right. So the next up is the wife. So I don't know, I get wife, or I don't know how you want to treat your own wife, and I don't know what are the things. So similar stuff too. For them, they have more nails, wigs, and everything else that I just included, and all that stuff too. So like these gadgets, for example, raising the husband to have a gadget upgrade. Like you might have a phone right now, right? And then by the time in 3 years time you want to change your phone, so your phone will now have been by three, um, maybe even 3.7. So you can buy a new gadgets, maybe it's phone, tablet, all of those, earpiece, your headboard, everything you want to change, laptop. So those are the gadgets. So by the third year you might be able to change all of those ones. All right, so if you are going to use your gadgets for the next 5 years too, by this time you'll be having like 6 point something million there to change all of it. What other one is there? So basically education is very important. The guy to have education, so you have to plan towards that. Every year you need to keep getting certifications, getting trainings and everything. You have to budget for that too. All right, don't forget your life insurance too. Get insurance in one way or the other. I have another video on insurance and banking matters too that one needs to actually do, but get all of those in line too. So if you're going to be driving yourself, you don't need a driver, you can remove this. And same thing for planning for a new car too. So basically the wife too needs this per day, this per week, and this per month, 1 million. So for the children as well, you have for the children too. So children, body care and all of those things, transport to school. This therapy is maybe treats, it might be outing, it might be gift, it might be whatever it is. It could actually be a spa treatment too, because all of them have spa treatment. You know, some people at some point might have to start saving for psychological evaluations and things. It might not necessarily concern you right now, but if you start saving for it, it makes sense too. So same thing too, cash allowance, clothing, all of those stuff. You can go through it and analyze it and see, okay, what figure do I want? Once you type in your figure here, it gives you your monthly amount and every other thing, and then you can just continue going. So here is the point that we've put in here. If you plan on having 3 kids, or you just want to have 1 child, just put 1 there. If you want to have 7 children, put 7 children there. This is what it's going to cost you. All right. If you just want to have 2 kids, this is what it's going to be like. So on the education part too, and education, you can say that it's 3. So let's say in a year, those of you that are parents will see that, okay, in a year, this is probably what you're still going to spend at the end of the day, right, on education. If you want to give your child a good education, no. I know some people are paying like 100,000 naira per month on school, per term, right, per term, which is like this point here, 200, and some people are paying 100, some people are paying 200, some people are paying 500, some people are paying 2 million per term. So it depends on how much you can afford and what you can actually do. So you can just put in your figures here. So if I change this to 200, it gives me the figure. If you change it to 5,000, it gives you the figure too. So it just depends on what you can afford and what you feel is comfortable. Don't always forget external curriculum activity like sport and private tutoring. It's very important. You would always have that too. These children nowadays need app. You download app or pay 1 or 2 things for them too on their mobile phones and everything. So everything here is just the same thing too. So them too. This one is 100. This thing you might have to put this. This is supposed to be 100. Alright, so you just go through all of this one. So membership, they might have sport membership, association membership, some stuff. A lot of stuff are going to come up in the future from what we have already understood here. And some of us too already understand it right now, already paying for it. Like kids club and things like that. They have some stuff that are going on right now, so you can pay for those ones now and put it in your budget. If it is not, it's a matter of just, you can just say backspace and just delete it and leave it out. Once you delete it like that, you don't necessarily have to delete the whole this thing, like I showed you, like pressing here and deleting everything. But if this doesn't apply to you, right, you can just click here and just say backspace or delete and then press enter. It will remove it. Alright, so you can do that too. So let's go down further. So we have this one also that is like couples. So for the couples, you have family and events. You know, there's no how family matter will come out when you are married, and then you have this that you budget for the month. It doesn't necessarily you're going to party every month, but let's say for example now you're saving this 1000 naira every day, right? And then um 1 year, maybe a family member is getting married. This 180,000 naira, I bet you by the time you buy Ashwebi, buy motor and fuel in the car, if you are a family of 4 now, you have your wife, husband, and the children. This would cover that expense for that year. I hope you understand that this will cover the expense for that year. So it's not necessary that it's every month that you are going. You are looking ahead of time. That's the point. You're looking ahead of time. So if you do this, I'm sure it's going to serve this, and also for other social events, uh, stuff that you might be going. You want to be buying people gifts and anniversary gifts and what I call it now, birthday gifts. Maybe you have friends too that are doing the anniversary every year. Maybe you have like, imagine if you have like 4 friends that are married, and you need to buy them gifts every time they are doing this thing, and they buy you 2 stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean like give and take, but you get the point, right? At the end of the year, this is probably what you'll be spending with that. Um, if you're a good friend anyway. But if you don't send them, you can always reduce this to to this, and then this is what you now be budgeting. It's your own preference. It doesn't necessarily have to be big on that. Couple date night. So I believe that couples should have their own free time to enjoy themselves, take out on dates, surprise each other and everything. So that's this one. Emergency fund, family outing. Going out as a family is different from going out as couple. So try to understand the difference there. Then family to want to travel maybe once a year. By the time you calculate it in the year, this is about 5 million naira. So if you're a family of 4, for example, now, and then husband, wife, and the children, there's no how you will not spend up to this. Though. There is no how, especially if you're going out of the country. But if it's within the country, definitely you guys can go to Homo Resort or something and spend less than this actually, right? So if it is that you want to be going out every quarter, this is what you need to be getting. Do you understand? So you just put in those figures and then analyze it and see what is coming out. If it is not something that is making sense to you, just change the figures here and you get it. So let's move on to cars. So let's say you have just 1 car. So I said for this one now, the guy has 2 cars, the wife has 1 car. So this is 3 cars already. So the cars will require air freshener, particulars, car wash. If you are washing your car yourself, or you take it to car wash, either way, servicing, all of those stuffs here are what is going to cost you. So it's not necessarily going to be serving your car every month or every day, but by the end of the quarter, this is what you probably spend on servicing your car. Now it depends on the model of the car, so you need to understand that, averagely, if you have like 3 cars, they will have probably different rates at which they are serviced. So you can just get a figure for that and then divide it and then know what this would be. So for 1 car, and then this is what you'll be spending on maintaining the car for a year. Alright, these are the costs. So if you are buying fuel also for the car, this is probably what you'll be spending per day, per week. So if you are I believe some people are doing comfortably about 4,000 naira every day, yeah, and then this is what they are spending. So in a month, this is what they are spending on fuel. Alright, so if you now have 3 cars, this is what probably you'll be spending. Now maybe 2 cars are the 2 major ones that you are using. The husband, wife, and the husband's car and the wife's car are what is being used. Maybe the other one are just parked down, they only use maybe on the weekend, but basically it's still the same concept. So you can put it as 2, and this is what you'll be spending every month, or you'll be required to spend or to save up for every month. Right, this is what your expenses will look like. So in maintaining your house too, you have all of this furniture maintenance. So let people don't take note of this kinds of maintenance, right? But it's very important. Your furniture could get bad, right? Your kid could spoil 1 or 2 things, or wire could get bad in the house. All of these appliances stuff. So like for appliances, like I said, upgrading gadgets, you might have like a washing machine right now that is an appliance, right? And then at the end of the year, maybe it requires some services, or you want to change it. This is in 5 years time. Some of those appliances last for like 10 years. You want to change it, you would have had enough cash. Maybe you, at the time you sell the old one and you add it to the new one, now you'll be able to have enough cash to buy a new one comfortably. Alright, and then this is how this whole thing works. So Environment is like your surrounding, your fence, your gutters, and everything. Maintaining them. They might crack, you might need to repair, and things like that. You can reduce all of this, like I said, or you can increase it depending on your lifestyle that you are looking at. Generator maintenance. All of those maintenance are there. Depending on the light bill that you are paying, also here. If you are paying light bill, you are using inverter, whatever it is, this is what this one's gonna be. You are buying fuel gen, home hygiene like Dettol, all of those stuffs, groceries, wine and treats at home, all of those stuffs. It depends on how it works. If you don't have house help, for example, like I said, if you are not using any of this, but I think a lot of families would need house help, and the house help will probably be actively working for this number of hours, and this from this time to this time. So the house might wake up from 5, take care of the children, make food in the afternoon, the morning, afternoon, and night, clean the whole house. They were actively working within this time, and this is something that some people might pay. I know some people that don't pay up to this. Some people pay their house help about this per day, and then this is what they're paying them 40,000 naira per month. Do you understand? So it's just a matter of you. So it's just a matter of you figuring out what works for you. Alright. Me, I like fruits and nuts. So granite, I don't used to play with. I used to buy this like every other week. So it's not up to this though. So let's say 1,000 naira. I'm not going to be up to 5. Not up to that. 500 naira. So yeah, you can buy granite like 1,000 naira, dates 500 naira, and stuff like that. So more like 1,000. Yeah, it's more like 1,000. Yeah, about this. So dates, granite, pineapples, all of those stuff. Coconut, we used to buy a lot in the house because we eat a lot of fruits. So this is about the amount you spend, and this is what we spend in a month. So alright, so for food in the house for 6 people, so let's say for example now you have your 2 children or 3 children, and then the house help that is there, and maybe you have one cousin or brother or this thing that's living with you too. So it's about this, but you can do your own calculations too, and that's about 15,000 naira a day, and this is what it's going to look like, right? And then you have this, but you can look at your current situation and then times it. But I don't want you to look at your current situation. Look at the lifestyle you want to live. That's the point. Look at the lifestyle you want to live. Look at where you want to actually be at, and then putting those figures in here. Try to calculate them and put them here per day, and then you'll be able to understand how much you actually need. So me, I like pets. You might not be a pet fan, so you can actually just delete it, remove it, and then rent, for example, now 7,000 naira per day, about 50,000 naira per week. By the time you come to the year part, this is like 2.5 million naira in a year, which is what an average household in Lekki is paying. So you might not be up to this. So maybe your own is less. You can always put something lesser. If your house rent is 1.5, if it's not up to that, you can still reduce it some more. I want to put 3,000. So let's say your rent is like 1 million naira, which is average amount within Lagos, So you could have it like that, and then put that there, and then insurance too for your properties, for your house and things could be around this. Look into insurance. I have a video on insurance I'm working on. So maybe I'll share that with you later on too. So this is what you get at the end of the day, and then you have this, right? So this is what you need in a year, and this is what you need in a month. So let's go. So other subscriptions like this, right? You have other subscriptions like this that are like Netflix, DSTV. Some people have the two, maybe GoTV gone, they have it. Other subscriptions too. You might have a ISP that is serving you at home, different from your mobile data, So all of these ones are factored in. So if something, the other subscription that you have, you can just add it. Remember, you can just click here and come here. Okay, it's not coming up. I know what I'm not showing. But you can just right click here and then click on the insert. It will show up on your own system. I think it's because of the recording app I'm using that is not showing up here. So basically that's just it. So when all of these main ones now, this point have been added up that gave this figure here. So this is close to 200,000 naira now. So you can now come here and say, oh, with 200,000, I think if I do 250, I'll be okay. Or maybe say 230. With 230, this will cover this, and then that means that on a daily, what you now need to look out for in a month is getting at least 6.5 million, or this 6.440 million in a month for you to be able to live this lifestyle that you want. Alright, so that's just where this comes in now. So let me do 250 here. Now this 250, let me explain something. This 250 is equivalent to this in dollars. Now this figure in dollars, right? Let's say it's 167, right? Now in dollars, maybe you're working per hour, right? And you'll be working maybe 8 hours. So if I divide this by 8, this gives you 20, let's say $21, right? So basically, you need to look for a job that will pay you $21, or maybe between $30, which is not a difficult thing to do. There are a lot of jobs that pay way above that. Minimum wage there is about $17 to $25 in different countries, in developing countries. All right, even higher than that, minimum wage. So let's say you are doing like a bricklayer concept, you'll be making more than that. So it's not very ridiculous. Just because in our own figures here it looks very, very ridiculous, but it is not. So let us sum this up as 7 million per month is what you need to make, and in a year you need 91 million, which is about $60,000. Now I'm sure you've heard severally that you're looking for a job, they'll tell you the annual salary is 35 or $36, or some of them will tell you, so that's like 2 times of this. And some jobs, managerial jobs, or let's say all these tech jobs that are paying $150,000 per year, $90,000 per year. So it's not as ridiculous. My point is, these figures are not ridiculous. They are just normal standard living. Well, here it looks very ridiculous because the figures are, 91 million. Except you're a politician or something, it looks as if or you want to get that kind of money. But I'll show you where you can get those kind of jobs too. Alright, so here now, this particular one, when you change anything here, naturally you can change anything here. So let me put back to 300. Once you put in the figure here, this one changes. This is 3 million. So I change it to 250 back now. This one changes already, so you don't have to edit anything here. But like I told you at the top, this green part is what you are looking at: monthly, yearly. Monthly in dollars, monthly yearly in dollars, monthly in euro, yearly in euro. So this is what it is in monthly in naira. This is in dollars and this is in euro, as you can see here, right? And if you are able to have this maybe stored somewhere for the next 10 years, you don't need to work, because you'll be using this one and you maintain your lifestyle, right? If you have all of this too, for the next 40 years, you don't need to work. So if you are 49, you say maybe 30 years old right now, and you want to retire in 20 years time, this is what you should be looking to gather up. So if you could save up to $2.5 million, you are okay for the next 20 years. Do you understand the point now? Alright, let's move on. So let me show you this net worth stuff. So this is the amount that you need to be getting. So this figure right here, 91 million, if you can get this as 4%, that's what is here. So all of these ones now, this figure here has already come here directly. It has changed automatically. This 91 million now is going to be your yearly 4% return on your investment. So if you have 2.2 billion and you invest it into something, maybe you invest it into shares, the dividends is at 4%. They'll be paying you these dividends every year and you don't have to work again. That if you have like $1.5 million and you invest it into maybe some form of stock or shares or ownership or equity or whatever, it will be paying you, and the return on your investment is at 4%, minimum of 4%. Some of them are up to 8%, some of them are even 15%. But if you have this and you have a minimum investment that is returning 4%, this is what you'll be getting, and you'll be able to maintain this lifestyle. That's just what it means. So your goal will now be, okay, how can I save up to this, or how can I aim up to this, so that I can now invest in something that will be earning me this for the rest of my life. That is where the cocoa is. So like this is another one. If you can now multiply this particular, and this is what I call financial stability, right? This financial stability. At this point, you are at financial freedom. That is, you multiply this one times 5. This is financial prosperity. You now multiply this same figure now by 10. So let's say someone that is worth 1.5 million, you understand that that person is financially free. Anybody that is worth up to $7 million, $7.5 million and above, is on a financial freedom. So imagine that you get this every year as your passive income. And it's just one of these, just the 60 out of these 300 that you need to actually maintain your luxury lifestyle. Do you understand how financially buoyant you'll be? So if you now multiply this one again now by 10, and you now have 15 million worth of investment, you are in financial prosperity. So the deal again I want to try to explain to you is, how do you get to either this level, or this level in the next 10 to 20 years? That's what you should be looking out for. So once you can figure all of that out, you're good to go. So in Nigeria, for example, now this is stock exchange, treasury options via bank. So if you go to banks now, majority of them tell you that they have some what they call treasury options, or the capital something CP. I've forgotten the full this thing. If you invest this amount with them at 14%, you'll be getting this 91 million naira every 3 months. If you invest this amount at this 16%, every 6 months you get this. Half a 500 million, and you put it into any of these their packages at 9 months, you will get this. This also is 12 months, and you 20%, you get this. So imagine you can do anything right now and just get 500 million, and you just put it into this particular kind of package. Maybe you share it across board different kind of banks, so you don't put your egg in one basket, but you'll be getting this at the end of the month, at the end of the year, which you use in financing your lifestyle. So what I'm telling you right now is, if you can hustle, or by grace or whatever, you will hit 500 million. Just take that 500 million, walk into any bank and ask for their treasury bill, and put the money there at 20% or 18%, and then you'll be getting 91 million naira paid to you every 9 months or 12 months, and you don't have to work again for the rest of your life. So this is why it baffles me sometimes when we hear politicians that save something billion naira, and then you just wonder, what is the problem? Or trillions. But with 500 million naira, you can hit this. Alright? So the question will now be, how I want to get this 500 million naira? Which kind of work I want to do where I will save up to 500 million naira? You don't necessarily have to save it all at once. You could start with as low as 100,000 naira and start even working towards treasury bonds and treasury options, and go to bank and start compiling it till it gets up to this 500. So till it gets up to this 500, right? Alright, so moving on, how does the work now work? All right, like I was telling you, right? This is working and earning. How does it really work? So here's the thing. There are two errors that most people do when you get to this figure, right? And you say that, oh, I need to now earn 91 million naira. Yes, you need to earn 91 million naira. But the issue with the 91 million naira is, if you earn 91 million naira, you are going to be taxed. In Nigeria here, your tax will go, it's not 30%, but I think 20 something or 18% is the highest or so. I'm not sure, I'll get that figure. But basically, in most developed countries, some of them are up to 50%, but in a relatively good country, it's 30%, right? So let us just bench it at 30%. In this particular document, I benched at 30%. So you can see 91 million. If you earn 91 million after tax, that's this figure after tax. But before tax, you might have to be earning 130 million. So by the time they remove all their tax, your income tax, all the other tax and everything, you will now have this 91 million. Not that by the time you now earn 91 million, they will now remove their 30% tax, and then you will now be short of this 2.27 million. So what you will now have left with you will now be this, which will have shot your 91 million lifestyle that you have already set up. Do you understand? So you need to think of it as, oh, it is not this 90 million I should be targeting. Let me add the 30% tax. So what you are looking for is 130, not 91. 91 is what you use in your lifestyle, right? But this 130 is what you need to earn. Now, this figure here is the same as this. So this 91, this is in Naira. You can see here is in Naira. This one is in dollars. So this 91 is the same as this 60,000, and this 130 is the same as this 86. So if you now roll this one up in a month, this is what you need to earn, and per hour, this is what you need to earn. So if you get a job that is paying you $30 per hour, by the time they remove tax, you will get this. That's just how it works. So at the end of the day, get this, earning before tax. This is what you need to earn before the tax. After they remove their tax, you will come to this, and then this is what is now yours that you can use to maintain your lifestyle. Like I told you, this particular color here, this shade of color, is that depending on where you are editing it from, you can now come here and put in the dollar. So if dollar is 13, just put 13 here to change it. So but in this particular document, I was using 15 as at the current rate when I was editing this. Now take a look at this other angle here. I have these two parts, shared by couple, shared by couple. So let's say you're husband and wife, right, in this economy, the US economy anyway, and then both of you can just look for a job that is earning $15 per hour, and then you'll be able to achieve this. So instead of one person carrying all the load of this, both of you can share this. Now it could be that maybe one person is doing $10 per hour, another person is doing $20 per hour, or it may vary. Or both of you, it's possible that both of you are even doing 30, and then is one person's amount, one person's income that you guys are using to run all of this. The other person's income can now be used to save up for this figure that we talked about. Do you remember? That's this getting this basically. So this is what you'll be getting per month on this one anyway. I forgot to mention about, I didn't talk about this particular part. Alright. So if this is the case, it's just that simple, right? You put in this amount and you get this. It's just that simple. So if both of you are sharing the burden, both of you can share it at 15 per hour. Look for jobs, and there are a lot of jobs that will pay you this. It's not necessary that you must even do it. Both of you can do jobs that will pay you up to 60k, $60 per hour. All right, so I'll break that down. So this is you working 12 hours. That's like, let's say 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, if you go down the line, and these are some of the jobs: graphic design, video editing, personal assistant. All of these jobs will pay you this $30. Real estate agent, therapist and counseling, photography, they will pay you this. They'll pay you this $30. All right. So working at 10 hours per day. So if you're working 10 hours per day, same stuff. The figures don't change. What really changes is the hour. So from this one that was $30 now, it's now $36. And you have dentist, registered nurse. Let me shift this a bit for you so you see. Data management, electrician, plumber, accountant, truck drivers, they can all earn this $36. Do you get it? So let me move to, this is like 10 hours per day. So that's like maybe you are working from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So this is 8 hours now, which is normally the standard job, this thing. So there are jobs that can pay you this. If it's at 8 hours you're working, that's like from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. right? And then if you get a job that is paying you this $45 per hour, you'll be making all of this per month and this per year. And then nurse practitioner, web designer, cybersecurity analyst, civil engineer, electrician, lawyer, all of these are making this easily, comfortably. They are all making it comfortably. And if you go higher, whereby you're looking for jobs that are, let's say this 6 hours, 4 hours, you have $60 per hour. So dentist again, financial management, software engineer, all of these people here are earning well over this, well over it easily. Freelance writer and an editor, marketing manager, data scientist, all of these people are earning way above this. And then if you now want to go higher again at 4 hours per day, a surgeon, physician, software engineer, all of them are earning way above this. So this is just basically the concept of, okay, if you want to get into it now, if you're working with your partner and both of you have a job in this 4-hour range, if one of you choose to pick up this, then the other person can be saving their money so that they can hit that figure, and then you can hit the investment figure here at the top here, and then you guys don't have to work again. Now this percentage here is for Nigeria. I've checked the US one and Canada, UK and co. It is not up to this. So in their own country it's just one digit, maybe 8. The highest I saw was about 8%. They are not as high as this. So you need to factor out all of those things. But basically, once you have this idea, it gives you a better frame of mind to know how and what work you need to actually go and look for. But it's in our own economy here that it looks very, very high and so big that the amount is 7 million per month, or 10 million naira to earn 10 million naira per month in Nigeria. It looks, you must be a very powerful manager or branch manager or director or something. All right, so that's just it. So being an employee in Nigeria might not necessarily be able to earn you this. This is one of the secret I want to just share with you. being an entrepreneur, being an employee might not earn you this, but over here, being an employee in this dollar economy, it can work for you. But here in Nigeria, what will work for you here that can make you get this is being an entrepreneur, setting up some form of product or service that you'll be offering to people, and then you can now do the numbers. So let's say, for example, now this 10 million, okay, I want to hit 10 million naira, right? If I can get a product that I can sell for whatever amount, and at the end of the day, it is even 2,000 naira that is coming to me. I need to sell 5,000 products in a month. That's the meaning of this. So if it is, you can now find a product or a service that will be doing this 5,000 naira every month, and you'll be able to earn close to 10 million naira. That's how the system works. But as an employee, it will be very difficult. You will have to work for, that's even if you're in a good industry or you're working under a good employee, you work for years before you can ever be able to hit this. You probably will be very close to Dangote, working for Dangote or Shell or what I call it now, all these tech companies before you can hit this. So people in Shell that are being paid in dollar, they don't have problem with this. This is what they are basically in, because their money is being calculated in dollars, right? So they don't have this issue. That's why those are in Shell. They are pretty comfortable. ExxonMobil and the rest of them. So the question will now be, how am I going to? All right. So basically, that's just what I want to share. So I've shown you, I've shown you what you need to do. Like I said, if you can download this PDF, maybe in the link, or I send it to you directly, or maybe you're watching it on YouTube or any place you're watching it on, you can check the description. You'll see the link to download this video and the Excel sheet. You can edit the places that are in yellow. All of these places are in this color. Just change the exchange rate, and these green ones are places you want to focus on. So I've shown you for the husband, for the wife. You can easily change all of those stuff. So like I said, just right click on it and insert or delete if you don't want it, or if that is not a big deal for you, you can just remove the figure and then to calculate the rest for you. So the point is, try to gather, if you are to live comfortably, what does living comfortably look like to you? Once you get your figure, you will know how much you need to earn, how much you need for your lifestyle. Then you'll be able to now calculate how much investment you need for that in this term, and then you see it in dollars and you see it in naira, and then you can now know, okay, how much do I need to earn for me to be able to live this lifestyle? Okay, so if you earn this, if you are earning this, you'll be able to remove your tax and then get this as a return. All right, and then you'll be good to go. All right, thank you very much for listening. I hope this helps you, and God bless.